What's up guys, Matt back again with another unboxing video, and today we're going to be reviewing the DXF Orange Piccolo. Before we dive into the video, please remember to subscribe and hit the bell, like the video, comment your thoughts down below for us to discuss, follow me on my socials, and consider becoming a YouTube member to enter into our monthly giveaways and Discord server so our community can help you on your Dragon Ball figure collecting journey. This figure is based on Orange Piccolo from Dragon Ball Super Superhero. The figure itself is based on Orange Piccolo's movie poster. DXF are Bandai Spirit / Banpresto crane / prize figures of small museum style figures. If you're interested in picking this figure up, check my affiliate links down in the description below to help support me and pick them up for yourself. This figure was released on July 19th, 2023 in Japan. Orange Piccolo stands at about 7 inches on his base, about 6.5 inches off of his base, weighs 13.9 ounces in box, weighs 8.9 ounces on his own, and the figure comes whole with his base. All right, we are on a string of DXF reviews. Obviously, I've gotten a few of these recently to review and to have a couple for myself for size comparisons in my own personal collection. But as I said in my last review, it's been a while since I've reviewed DXF. It was almost 5 years ago that I reviewed DXF as one of the first reviews on my channel, and they've started to come back a little bit. This is a line that's been going on across multiple anime, not just Dragon Ball. It does other anime a lot more than Dragon Ball, but they do touch Dragon Ball whenever there's a new anime release. So I'm sure Daima will get DXF figures in the future, but today we're focused on the Dragon Ball Super Superhero line of DXF figures, which of course included Orange Piccolo, one of my favorite forms next to Ultra Instinct from Dragon Ball Super that they've introduced, and definitely my favorite form that they introduced in Dragon Ball Super Superhero. So as a character choice, I believe Orange Piccolo deserves that 5 out of 5. It's a very monumentous form for Piccolo. It's something that allows him to finally catch up to the Saiyan characters. There have been moments throughout Dragon Ball where Piccolo has surpassed the Saiyans, but it has been a long time. I'd argue even since the Buu Saga, Piccolo's been kind of put to the side as more of a supporting character rather than someone in the main Z Fighter lineup that can actually pose a threat to some characters. So having him as Orange Piccolo and able to fight characters like Gamma 1 and 2 who are allegedly as strong as Goku and Vegeta, I think is very, very impressive and very cool to have for Piccolo. So having him in DXF, as I said with Gohan Beast, DXF and all of these different lines, Blood of Saiyans, GX Materia, Ichiban Kuji, will include these new forms that they can put in there to market and sell for merchandising. So it's definitely a 5 out of 5. I love Orange Piccolo. I think he definitely deserves to be here. Now the likeness, it kind of gives me the same vibes as Gohan, maybe a little worse. There is something that seems a bit more off on this DXF figure from a likeness standpoint than the Gohan. Gohan definitely still looks like Gohan, but I don't know. There's something about this Orange Piccolo that kind of rubs me the wrong way. From certain angles, I think it looks pretty good, but from others, I don't know. It just looks kind of weird, doesn't it? I don't know. Maybe it's just me, but I think from a likeness, even though they do have like the details that we do enjoy from these Dragon Ball figures, he just doesn't quite look like Orange Piccolo to me. I think it's maybe his face is too small, maybe, or his head's too small. I'm not sure, because Piccolo in this form, he looks like a Giga Chad. Like his face kind of changes when he turns into Orange Piccolo. So his features should not be very soft, and maybe that's what it is. I think the features on this figure are a little too soft, so I'm going to give his likeness a 3 out of 5. The sculpt quality, much like Gohan, is pretty good. In fact, I would say it's better than the Gohan Beast. The Gohan Beast had very apparent issues with the sculpt itself from his hair. You could see like some lines that were pieced together for the hair. You could see it on some of his muscles. Whereas I was kind of impressed with the sculpt for this Orange Piccolo. There's nothing really apparent here that is sloppy or poorly done. So I do really like that. I love the way that his muscles are sculpted. His gi has like those baggy features that we really like to see on these types of figures to give them that sense of realism. And of course, everything about, well, actually, I can see it now. There are some deviating lines going down the fronts of his arm. So I just caught that. I think with that, seeing that, it is kind of disappointing because even from a distance, you can kind of see it. So I'm going to give it a 3 out of 5. A little disappointing, especially because, hey, he is stuck on a base. But I did mention in that Gohan Beast review that the base is very polished and looks really cool. And if you get them all as a whole set, I think that'll look really cool as a uniform set. But, oh, man, it's a little inexcusable. I know they're cheaper, Crane figures, but they still are charged the same price as like Blood of Saiyans and all the other ones. So I think that's a little, that's a glaring issue that we're going to have to address. So yeah, the sculpt is going to get a 3 out of 5. I caught ya, Piccolo. You were trying to get away from me, but I caught ya. Paint and shading, very similar to Gohan. Very bright colors. I like the paint finish that they add to these figures. They look really good, but DXF used to have shading applied to it, and this figure has none. It may look like it has shading on his gi, but really that's just the natural lighting of my video. That's not actual shading that's applied to the figure. I wish they had done that, but unfortunately that's not the case here. I do like the mixtures of orange and purple on this Piccolo and this form in general. He's very bright, very saturated, and I do like that a lot from Dragon Ball Super Superhero, but unfortunately, because he's lacking the shading, I'm going to have to give him a 4 out of 5 for paint and shading. And then finally, size and scale. This one is going to have to get a 2 out of 5 for me. I gave the Gohan Beast a 3 out of 5, but this one's a 2 out of 5 just because, as mentioned, Orange Piccolo should be a large character, and I know these are smaller Crane figures that aren't really meant to scale, but when you look at Bandai's umbrella of figures as a whole, you would prefer this to scale a lot better with other figures, and it just is kind of weird to have this Orange Piccolo only be like a little bit bigger than, say, like the History Box Beast Gohan. That's kind of weird. So I wish he was a little bit taller, maybe an inch taller, and I think that would have maybe justified the size and scaling. Probably would have gotten him like a 4 out of 5, but he does look kind of weird next to other DXF figures and other Prize and Crane figures. So unfortunately, size and scale is going to get a 2 out of 5 for me. But yeah, he's kind of in the same boat. A lot of these DXF figures are more so safe. I like them a little bit, but for the price that they go for, like $30, no. I think if you're going to pick up a DXF figure, it's going to be like a $10 to $15 purchase that maybe you might have to wait on. It's a solid figure. They're cute. There's nothing really glaringly bad about them. They're just kind of middle of the line. There's nothing that spectacular about them. So I'm going to give this Orange Piccolo today a 3 out of 5. But until the next video, guys, I will see you all later.